A lot of instruments that we know and love today are just the modern versions of instruments that no longer exist. Instruments can go out of style for a number of reasons, but sometimes they just don't fit the sound that is desired from a large orchestra. And the modern day piano is a great example of this. Modern day pianos are pretty uniform and have a pretty powerful sound, but this wasn't always the case. In the 1400s, we didn't have the modern day piano. Instead, we had what was called the clavichord. The clavichord was a really popular instrument in medieval Italy, and similar to the piano, the clavichord made sound by using a small brass hammer to hit a string. But the clavichord wasn't super practical. It was a relatively small instrument and it wasn't super loud, so when the clavichord was being played in a larger ensemble or an orchestra, the sound would become really muddy. So around 100 years later, the harpsicord was invented to try to fix this problem, and just like that, the clavichord went out of style. While the harpsicord was an improvement overall, it still had some similar issues, and the sound was getting drowned out in a large orchestra. So in the early 1700s, the instrument would develop into the modern day piano. And just like that, both the harpsicord and the clavichord would become relatively obsolete. These instruments are totally gone though. You can still find them among collectors or in museums. And with that, I hope you learned something new today, and thank you for joining me for another edition of Fun Fact Fridays.